Sarah's post already has 41 comments, and you've read every single one. New house, new man. A smile that took her 3 tries to get exactly right. Your stomach drops before your brain even catches up. One thought lands like a slap. She actually figured it out. You didn't. That feeling has an exact name. Psychologists call it upward social comparison, and it's far more precise than ordinary envy on social media. Your brain never compares 2 whole lives with all their highs and lows. It compares a single, chosen scene against your own unfiltered, unedited reality. This pattern isn't new. 2,000 years ago, a man born into slavery already understood it, long before it existed in this form. He had no perfect mirror, no social network, no edited photo. Epictetus just had wealthier neighbors in Rome, and the exact same ache you're feeling tonight in front of your screen. Here's the Stoic idea at the heart of what Epictetus taught. It's never the event itself that breaks us. It's the judgment we pass on it, in a fraction of a second. Sarah's house does you no real harm at all. Your pain comes from the entire story you invent in 3 seconds of scrolling. And in that game, you always lose before it's even begun. You never checked that story. You just believed it instantly, without a shred of evidence, as if it were established fact. Your brain evolved in tribes of at most 150 people. It measured your social standing against real neighbors you ran into every day, people you actually knew. Today, that same ancient wiring measures your entire life against the highlight reels of 8 billion people, carefully chosen and staged. Your brain was never built for that scale. No human tribe was ever built to process 8 billion points of comparison in a single evening, on a single screen, without a break. So how do you actually apply this the next time that feeling comes back? 6 areas of your life, 1 single lie: career, love, body, money, parenting, and fitness. First, you need to see exactly how the trap works, in full, without looking away. Your old co-worker announces his promotion on LinkedIn, a photo in a suit and a caption he rewrote a dozen times before posting. Your stomach drops before you even finish reading. One question hits, instant and merciless. Why not me? You don't see his 6 months of dread before this announcement, the nights he doubted everything. You're measuring your whole career against his best possible version, and you lose before you've even started. A friend announces her engagement, a ring glowing under a golden filter, surrounded by petals arranged just so for the photo. 30 seconds later, you're questioning your entire relationship, looking for what's wrong with you, with him, with the 2 of you. You're weighing 7 years of real life, with all its arguments and tired mornings, against a single photo, chosen from 100 failed attempts. You're judging your entire happiness against hers, carefully selected and put on display. By the way, Sarah never told you her life was perfect. That part, your own mind made up entirely on its own. On Instagram, a fitness influencer posts his most defined physique, under precisely calculated light, after a pose rehearsed 15 times in the mirror. You measure that staged result against your own tired reflection in the morning, in a bathroom with no perfect light, no filter, no second take. That image works exactly like an advertisement, disguised as an ordinary life. And that night, you lose more than just your peace of mind, a piece of your self-worth and your confidence with it. Someone posts their trip to Dubai, cocktail in hand, wide smile, a flawless blue sky behind them, a 5-star hotel in the background. 5 minutes later, you're checking your bank balance, almost against your will, like a painful, automatic reflex. You know nothing of his debts, his loans, the sleepless nights over a budget he'll never show anyone. What you're really comparing isn't his bank account. It's your place in an invisible ranking that no one ever confirmed exists. An acquaintance posts her child sitting sweetly at the table, smiling, surrounded by neatly arranged toys, in a spotless kitchen. You think of the screaming at your own house this morning, the lateness, the chaos before school. Within 30 seconds you feel like a failure, and nobody even asked you to. That photo doesn't show the 3 failed attempts before it, when the child was in tears. What you're feeling right now has a name, a guilt nobody ever asked you to carry. An old classmate finishes a marathon and posts his medal, out of breath but proud, surrounded by a cheering crowd. You think of every goal you never reached, the gym memberships you cancelled after 3 weeks. You don't see his 2 earlier attempts, the ones he quit in tears at mile 6. This is exactly why you lose every single time, no matter the subject. You're weighing your entire behind-the-scenes, doubts and defeats included, against their 3-second trailer. That trailer was selected, edited, and released only after a quiet approval process. This fight was rigged before it even began. You don't lose this game because of who you are. The rules were rigged from the start, for everyone equally. This contest was never fair. You walked into a game designed to make you feel like you're falling behind your own life. And it hurts, genuinely hurts, to believe that for one more night. In the end, every one of these 6 comparisons comes down to exactly the same thing. Wait. Hold on to the last post that made you feel small. At the end of this video, I'm going to ask you about it directly. You never compare yourself to a real person, only to the version they chose to show you. Some will say a little comparison is motivating, that it drives progress, gives you a clear target. That's true, sometimes within a precise and limited frame. But studying a real role model to learn a specific skill, and tearing yourself apart over an invented, staged slice of someone's life, are 2 completely different things. One brings you closer to a concrete, measurable goal. The other simply steals your evening and gives you nothing back for it. The next time that exact sting shows up, ask yourself one question, out loud if you have to, even alone in an empty room. Am I comparing my whole life, real highs and lows included, against a single, chosen, perfect slice of theirs? Naming the trap already weakens it, instantly, at no extra cost. A mechanism you've recognized loses part of its hold on you before you've even done anything else. Second step, harder. Ask yourself exactly what you'd do today, in your own life, if nobody in the world were watching or judging. This comparison mechanism goes far beyond social media. It's your salary measured against a childhood friend who climbed into management. This trap is your relationship measured against your parents, which looked so simple and stable from the outside, without you ever seeing behind the curtain. This mechanism is also your life choices, measured against the ones you didn't make. Those roads never taken that you sometimes regret for no clear reason at all. And it's your entire life, judged wholesale against a carefully edited montage. A life that absolutely no one actually lives behind their own screen. Even the people you envy most right now are probably envying someone else on another screen, somewhere, at this exact moment, just like you. One evening, then another, then an entire year, without you noticing. And one day you realize you've spent more time living other people's lives in your head than actually living your own. Nobody sends you an invoice for that lost time, or for the confidence that crumbles a little more every night. That's exactly why you never see it coming. What someone else has never directly harms you. It's the story you tell yourself about it that wounds you, again and again. Not the fact itself. Epictetus never demanded that you stop looking at other people, or live cut off from the entire world. That would be impossible to sustain, and pointless besides. What he actually asked for was different. Stop handing them the power to decide what your own life is worth, without ever asking your real consent. For him, freedom never meant escaping Rome or his master. It meant refusing to let an outside glance decide his inner worth. That freedom doesn't depend on any social network, any algorithm, any photo someone else posts tonight. It depends on one single choice, made again and again, every time that sting returns. Refusing to let a 3-second clip decide the true weight of your whole life. Tonight, and every night after. Back to Sarah and her new house, right where this video started, just a few minutes ago on your screen. Sarah never took anything from you that was actually yours. You just told yourself a complete story you never took the time to check before believing it. Exactly like last time. Next time, remember this sentence. You never compare yourself to a real person, only to the version they chose to show you. You compare your whole life to a chosen slice of theirs. Nothing about you changed tonight, only the way you looked at yourself for one moment, before you believed it without question. What's the last post that made you feel like you were losing, even though nothing in your actual life had changed? Name it below. Only you and I need to know who it's about. If this helped you see through it, that's exactly the kind of story we unpack every week on The Quiet Stronghold.